Howdy, steamers! It's Sheila Kay here, and I'm so happy you joined me today. Come in close, because we have a special song to sing together today. Can you guess what this song's about? Here's a clue. It's about a tall, powerful machine, a little pointy at the top, that blasts off into the air and travels all the way to outer space. Have you guessed? Right! This song is about rockets. It's called Take Me Up in a Rocket. Listen, here's how it goes. Take me up in a rocket, soaring high in the sky. I want to fly past the moon and stars. Maybe I'll fly all the way out to Mars. Yes, I'm buckled in for the countdown. So sorry I cannot stay. Now it's 3, 2, 1, here I go, and I'm on my way. Blast off! Sing it with me this time, okay? Here we go. Take me up in a rocket, soaring high in the sky. I want to fly past the moon and stars. Maybe I'll fly all the way out to Mars. Yes, I'm buckled in for the countdown. So sorry I cannot stay. Now it's 3, 2, 1, here I go, and I'm on my way. Blast off! Thank you for singing that with me, everyone. I bet you've seen rockets on television or even in the movies, and we know they do important work. So they carry people and equipment far out into space to help astronauts learn more about the stars and planets and other kinds of things. What kinds of things do you think astronauts learn when they're inside the rocket? Right? Maybe about shooting stars and about the planets? Or even space creatures, they might, that's right. But they watch very closely and they take special pictures with special cameras. They do lots of experiments to learn about the planets and other things in space like asteroids and the stars, maybe what it might be like to live on another planet or what the weather is like on another planet. And I was thinking, if you want to be an astronaut or an engineer, you would have to know a little bit about rockets to be able to do your job. So let's take a look at the rocket that we just had in our song. And I think if we learn a little bit about the rocket, we'll know more about the work that the astronaut does. Let's look at the top part right here. This part is called a nose cone. This is the pointy part of the rocket I was telling you about in the clue. Why do you think this part of the rocket is pointy? Oh, maybe to put very small things inside there? It's possible. Yeah, it's pointy partly because the rocket has to push against the air when it's traveling. So this helps the rocket move where it needs to go and push against the air almost like an airplane, because if it was flat, the rocket would keep going back like this. It wouldn't be able to keep going up into space. And this is also where the astronauts usually sit to drive the rocket and propel it through space. Now, here's a very long part of the rocket. This is called the body tube. What do you think is inside the body tube of the rocket? Right? It could be where the astronauts sleep. That's right. And there are other rooms and places inside here where the astronauts do their experiments. And they actually do exercises while they're in the rockets so they can stay in good shape when they're traveling for such a long time. So there are lots of things that happen in this part of the rocket. Now I'm going to hold up the rocket a little bit higher. You see these parts on the bottom that I'm touching with my hands? These are called the fins of the rocket. And the fins are a little bit like the parts of an animal that we know that swims in the water. Can you figure out which animal I'm talking about? Right, fish. Fish have fins. Why do you think fish and rockets have fins? What do the fins help them do? That's right. Well, the fins on the fish help them figure out where they want to go in the water. They can turn or they can go where they need to go. And the fins on the rocket help the pilot keep the rocket steady and on its course, on its path, so they can turn the rocket where they need to turn it, so they can go where they need to go. And there's one more part down here. These parts right here. I bet you can figure out what this is for. That's right, it's for the engines. It's called the motor mount. The motor mount, that's where the engines sit so they can propel the rocket into space. When the engines start, they're very, very loud, and a lot of fire and smoke come out of them to push the rocket into space. The engines can be so loud that people miles around can hear the rocket go off on the launch pad. And scientists who help the engineers and the astronauts with the launch let people come and watch the launch in person sometimes. But to keep them safe, the people have to stay far enough away from the launch pad that they're safe while they watch the rocket go up into space. Do you think you'd ever like to go to a rocket launch someday? Maybe you will. So we know that astronauts do a lot of important work in the rocket. They learn a lot about the planets and the stars and asteroids and all kinds of things that are in outer space. And then they learn all of that information and bring it back to Earth to help us learn how to take good care of our planet, Earth, so that we can live safely and healthfully and happily. Wow! We learned so much about rockets today, we steamers. We sang a song about rockets. We learned the names of the special scientists who work on the rockets, like astronauts and engineers. We learned that rockets have important parts to help them do their job, so they can blast off into space and travel. And we also learned that astronauts take what they learn about outer space and bring it back to us on Earth so that we can learn to take good care of our Earth and live safely and healthfully and happily. Wow, it was so much fun spending time with you today, we steamers. We'll sing another song or recite another poem together again soon. But now it's time for our special way to say goodbye. I'll say it once and then you say it back to me, okay? See you later, alligator. Up in space, little ace. Bye-bye, butterfly. Bye.